Afternoon all. How are we all doing? Afternoon David Funnell. I've just taken a quick short on the US dollar yen with a stop. This isn't a position trade, this is a scalp. Got lots of big movement on this at the minute. It's going to come down at some point soon, and I got a feeling it's going to come down fairly hard when it does. So I'm just trying to play a quick scalp on it. We just got a nice reversal alert. Pushed up in London. We broke down below the Asian highs. So it looked like it was potentially going to go, but it's gone sideways for the last hour. So we'll see what happens on that one. Pushing strong at the moment. Afternoon, Jose, Andy, Gary, Diamond. So yeah, US dollar yen still massively extended. So big moves. I've just taken an oil as well. I still think we're going to try for this potentially this gap fill today in New York. So we just got a reversal alert. So I just took one. Basically, I saw this just out of the corner of my eye on my other monitor. I saw this hammer form on oil. So as that hammer formed, I put a pending above it and got gathered into a position there. Then we pushed up quite aggressively. So I put another pending in, which just got triggered a minute ago, and now it's just having a little bit of a pullback. But I'm potentially looking for this to jump up there this afternoon. So just a oil scalp as well. See if we can catch one of those. Afternoon, Gemma. Right, so this morning, not a huge amount happened. ADRs, we've got Aussie, New Zealand. Come down very, very nicely, Aussie, New Zealand. So let me just quickly open up my VPS a second. Aussie, New Zealand, where are we? Yeah, I'll profit on that now. So this Aussie, New Zealand trade, I'm in profit on that now. So I'm just going to shut all that down. It's very, very close to my TP, so I'm not going to let it go into DD. Just make sure I shut all the right to trade down. That's done. So I've set the EA up. I've got no positions at the moment on it. This is H1 M5. Is now running, just taking a CAD yen, H4 M15 CAD yen. Short. Where are we? CAD yen. So we just had a reverse alert there. So I've just taken a short on CAD yen. Very, very, very extended. Afternoon, Thami. South Africa. So yeah, first trade. Let's see how we get on. So yeah, Aussie, New Zealand, big strong push to the downside. Potential reversal on that one this afternoon. Oops, sorry. We're almost down at 125 ADR on that. Really, really big strong sell-off in Asia. Big strong sell-off in London. Could well get a reversal starting in New York. Swiss yen. We had a tap up into ADR. Beautiful tweezer tops. And that's just come down really nicely into support. So trade on that one was up there. Didn't get a reverse alert on it, unfortunately, because it went too fast, too hard. So you'd have to taken that M pattern manually to get into that one. That played off nicely off of ADR. And US dollar yen, obviously, this is still pushed up today. So I've got into the short on this one. So yeah, really big, strong push again today on this one. It's going to come down at some point soon. Today, I think, is going to be the profit take move on this. It's so extended across the board. We've been embedded on the hourly now for nearly 2 days solid. And the 4 hour, you can see obviously I have my fib there. Just move my fib up there. Just move my TP down to 38. So yeah, I mean, 4 hour, we've just not had a rest at all on it, on the 4 hour. This is the only down candle we've had since middle of last week, really. It's just absolutely off the scale. We had all that potential China. It's not a new virus in China. The market's been crashing in China and Hong Kong. Oh, excuse me. It's basically Omicron variant. They've got a massive I say massive outbreak. They've got 4,000 cases. That's nothing. But they're obviously going overboard in China. So they've got a few cases of Omicron, which they are basically locking down on. So the markets in China have reacted to that. And of course, they're all a bit knackered in China as well. Anyway, there's a bubble bursting over there. So we may well see a little bit more strength coming through on the US dollar, which money will start to react and pop into the US dollar. So we'll see what happens this afternoon. It's going to go one way or the other, I feel, this afternoon. We're going to get a move. So we'll see what happens, but hopefully we're going to get that downward move starting on the US dollar this afternoon. Looking at the other US pairs, the US dollar Swiss had a really nice drop off, and the US CAD as well. We had a lovely M pattern reversal on M5 and a retest. So we've got the reversal and the retest. Really, really nice looking on that. And it's just, market structure's looking pretty good on this one. So we've just broken those lows. It's more like a double bottom. So any more movement down on that, and I think we'll be off on those this afternoon. So all looking good. Afternoon, Adrian. Good evening, even wherever we are. Right, so there's the ADRs today. So there's 3 ADR hits so far. Nothing else much there. 4 hours. We are still very exhausted. So Aussie dollar CAD. Still coming down. We've had a further drop on the Aussie. So all the Aussies basically are having a really weak time at the minute, apart from Aussie yen. So yeah, these are all really struggling, but we are getting down to support on these. So Aussie dollar CAD is sitting beautifully on the 24. We've got these levels here, as you can see, exactly where we are at the moment. Is this support here? So this level here, we tapped into, we came back, had another go at it, we came up, we cracked through it, just rejected it, tried again to get through it, then we finally broke that level. So that coincides beautifully with the confluence of the 24 moving average, and we've not had any profit take move whatsoever on this entire push down for days now. So again, due a lovely bounce, the Aussie dollar CAD. So it's a really nice one to start looking at M15 reversals on when you get one. Which shouldn't be long really on this one. M5, I would imagine, yeah, it's a big drop down there. So same place basically on M5 and M15 really. So yeah, very nice extension on Aussie dollar CAD. You've got pretty good movement, pretty good distance up till the resistance on that. So nice bit of room to trade it up to there. And then obviously we'll see what happens, but potentially continuation push to the upside on that one. You've got 2.3 thousand cases with a 100,000 population. Was that for in China? 100,000 population? Oh, is that the population of the place they've locked down or something? I don't know what the actual statistics are on it, but a few thousand cases. We have more than a few thousand cases a day, so it seems like nothing in the UK. 2.3 thousand cases. It's I know China is doing an awful lot of locking down when they get any cases at the moment, but it seems a little overkill. Aussie US, Aussie US, yeah. Aussie US is nice extended. We've got nice rejection down at the 24.72 area. So again, a little bit of a push up there. CAD Swiss, very extended to the upside. I don't really like this Swissy at the minute. It's just the Swiss franc. I usually love to trade because it moves so nicely. The Swissy, it drops and then it pushes and it drops and it pushes, drops and pushes, drops and pushes. It's had a really, really big, strong push against it at the moment, and there's lots of wicks all over the place on this. It's always a very wicky pair, the Swissy. We have just broken out of these highs. I really wanted to see it come up and take that liquidity from there, but it didn't. It just stopped short. So just not too sure exactly what it's trying to do up here. Potentially this is looking good for a drop back down, but not the best thing in the world, I don't think, at the moment, the CAD Swiss. So that one, it's only just extended above the 70 level. So probably not the best thing in the world to trade. I don't like it when we get up, go sideways and don't move anywhere, because it's more likely that we're going to see a second leg. And then we'll get the pullback down from there. So I think potentially we might have one more leg left on that one. So I'd rather leave that in a minute. In Jersey you are, Andy, yeah. You've got 2,000 cases with 100,000 population. Yeah, then that's that's not great, is it? 2% of the population got it. I don't know whether it's affecting Chinese more seriously than it is us in the West, but Omicron in the West is not really, I know people that have had it. Some people have had it fairly bad, but no more bad than a flu. It doesn't seem to have that much impact from a hospitalisation point of view over here. So I don't know whether it's worse in China, and that's why they're getting a bit more worried about it. But shut the airports, basically. Can I take a look at GA? Yeah, I'll have a look at the pounds in a sec. So CAD Swiss, CAD Yen, just run through these H4 extensions. CAD Yen, big push to the upside. Again, another one that's ready to drop. Yen is really, really, really weak at the minute. So hence, obviously, we've had these big pushes against the Yens. It will power up at some point and there'll be a profit take move on these. So just waiting for something to happen on the Yen. So that one's very, very nicely extended. I've just taken a short on that on the EA. Swiss Yen, same thing. We had some rejection this morning. We came up into ADR and rejected very nicely out of that. It's just taken out the liquidity at these highs as well. It did look like it was going to stop hunt and drop on that, but it didn't. It pushed massively through it. So that looks pretty good as a short as well. Nicely extended. It's not quite as extended as the CAD Yen. So that to me is a better trade to take than the Swiss one. And as I say, the Swissy at the moment isn't kind of behaving as it normally does, with money pushing in and pulling out of it. So I think probably CAD Yen is the nicer of those two at the moment, along with obviously the US dollar yen. Pound CAD is extended only just. Still not sure what's going on with the pound. Still very weak. Not really gone anywhere today. It's not the best trade in the world. We got really nicely extended there, and we've had hardly any pullback on it. So not looking particularly amazing. Pound yen obviously just shows you how weak the yen is at the minute, as the pound's managed to push up against it and everything else it's getting slaughtered on. So that's just got extended. Again, I'm confused with the directional bias now on the pound, so I'm leaving that for a bit. New Zealand dollar yen is nicely extended. New Zealand dollar has flipped short on the COT report. Whether that means anything at the moment, who knows, but pushing up very nicely against the yen. Potential for a nice reversal there, very well extended. And the US dollar Swiss we kind of briefly looked at, really nice extended. We had this big wick down on that one this morning. That was a Swiss franc move we had come in, but it didn't last at all. Would rather wait for long opportunities on that, but US dollar yen is just pushing up at the minute. I've just taken a short on that one. Just because it's just so extended. If this thing continues to push, it's going to continue to push. That's fine. It can take me out. But when this comes down, we're going to get a decent profit on this one. So it's worth the risk reward. You can see my risk on this is like 110 pips. Potential reward and it is over 1,000. It's a 10-to-1 trade. So I'm happy to get stopped out 3 or 4 times trying to short this thing. When it comes down, if it continues to push, it's going to come down with a good 3 or 4 hour candles, which will be decent size. But it may not be till FOMC on Wednesday. So I'll have a crack at it here. And if it carries on going, I'll let it carry on going for a bit. But we're at ADR already, so it's not going to get too much further today. Excuse me. God, I'm tired at the moment for some reason. It's the weekend. Weekends are meant to be relaxing. I tend to do a lot of the weekends, so I end up wake up on Monday like ugh. Hourlies. Aussie dollar CAD. Again, big extension on the hourly, on the 4 hourly. Big extension on the hourlies. Aussie dollar New Zealand dollar has just hit as well, nicely pushing up off of 125 ADR, very nicely extended on the hourly, so dropping down to M5. You've just had, oh no, not quite, just about to get a reversal on that one. You will have had one actually there, which kind of got invalidated within about an hour. But there's a lovely W forming there. Next reversal alert puts a lovely W in, potentially for a nice move to the upside. Aussie dollar, New Zealand dollar, Aussie dollar, US dollar. This one, obviously, if we're going to get continued strength on the US dollar, this is going to continue to come down. But very nice extension and not a lot of profit take move on the way up. So on the way down rather. So with 2 solid days down, if it does do a third day, it'll be massively extended and ready to pop. You should get at least a 50% retracement off of that when it goes. So well worth looking at. We've just had a reversal and it's just pulling back to retest it deep at the moment. Very nice reversal there. Buyer steps straight in and push that one straight back up. So that's looking really good. CAD yen, same. It's all the same stuff basically. If it's extended on the 4 hour, it's extended on the hourly at the moment. CAD yen, pound odd. Pound yen. We'll have a look at pound odd in a sec because I want to have a bit of a look at that one. Pound yen, very nicely extended on the hourly. Again, pushed up to the upside. It's a yen pair. All these yen pairs are very extended. We're just waiting for some strength to come through. So that's a good potential short on M5 to start getting a position on that one, and US dollar yen, which I'm obviously in at the moment. So the pound odd. Just coming up into potential resistance right now. We've just double topped. So next resistance is going to be there. So we push down, little accumulation, push down, little accumulation, push down. That was the accumulation before that massive drop. So this is where we're going to sort of look to come back to if we're going to look to come back up. Otherwise, potentially a continuation to the downside on this one. But on the hourly, it's lovely. It's come up and triple topped. So yeah, potentially this is a lovely short from where we are now. But equally, we could push up to there. So it's a very simple trade, getting short. If not, round about an ADR away. Next entry, somewhere up there, anywhere between 175 to 225 ADR. Next reversal up there for a short. Andy, I got out of my GC from Friday with a small profit. Cool. Yeah, pound CAD, nice pullback. EJ M15 short. Yeah, not quite yet for me. Close, but yeah, that'll be lovely. M when you get the reversal of that on that one. Nice divergence on the 4 hour chart. So yeah, looking good. Euro short. Obviously, we've got to be a bit wary of news this week with everything. There's lots and lots of it, obviously. So, Euro news. We've only got Lagarde speaking on Thursday. don't need to worry about that. So yeah, so that's all we got euro this week. The rest of it's all going to be everything else, obviously. So yen, we don't get any news on. So it's just a case of seeing what happens with the yen when it powers up. But yeah, yen, everything yen short at the moment, massively extended. It won't be long before we get some power into the yen, and then obviously all these will start to reverse. So hopefully today. Doesn't look like it at the moment though. US dollar's still on a mission. So looking at the US dollar today, you can see obviously all this US dollar yen movement and all these yen movement is not the US dollar strength. The US dollar came down and we've had a little bit of a recovery, not really gone anywhere. So this is all still yen weakness that we're witnessing. God, excuse me, I can't stop yawning today. I don't know what's wrong with me. So yeah, not really gone anywhere so far today on the US dollar. We're kind of in a little bit of an accumulation at the minute. We haven't really gone anywhere since last week. So last Monday is where we opened up. We came down, filled the gap as we said we were going to do. We did that very quickly. And today we're exactly where we were. So there's not been any movement on the US dollar all week. And we're still there now. So waiting for FOMC, basically, on Wednesday. So I think looking at where we've done what we've started to do today, potentially, I think maybe a little bit of a run down and potentially try and take this liquidity before FOMC this week, but we'll see. Obviously, it all depends on what goes on with the war still. So, but that's potentially what I think we might be doing with the US dollar at the moment because we haven't really gone anywhere. So potentially a little bit of a pull down on it and then a push back up. If obviously that is the case and we get continued yen weakness, then yeah, we're just going to keep pushing on the US dollar yen until midweek. Tomorrow we've got PPI tomorrow afternoon for the US dollar. So that might move it. We have got some news coming up, but we will see. Oil, looking for this level here to act as a potential support. So as I say, we've got that lovely hammer formed on M15. I saw that one. Looks just as nice on the hourly. We just had the reverse alert, so any kind of retest and push up to fill that gap. But obviously potential is for oil to go through the roof still, isn't it? So gold, we had a little bit of a drop today on gold, nothing much. We've just taken out yesterday's low and we're sitting around there, looking fairly bullish with the wicks at the minute, but still no movement on that. All the indices, the DAX today came down after its little push. So we had a nice little drop. I tried to trade that, but got stopped out on it, unfortunately. Took a couple of shorts on the 5 minute. As soon as we had the reversal alert, which looked good, then we pushed back, and I was trying to get in short, and then this whacking great candle came in, so I jumped in off the end of that with a fairly decent stop, just waiting for a pullback and a drop, which we got. But I was playing the gap fill and didn't get it. So it came back and stopped me out, and now we're sitting in an accumulation, unfortunately. So I still think this afternoon, potentially shorts on the DAX and shorts on most of the indices. So we'll have a look at those in a minute. Market's opening in 5 minutes. NASDAQ today, not really gone anywhere. We've had a bit of a downward movement in there. S&P, the same. Same on the Dow. I've got one short running at the moment on the Dow. I've just taken one. And nothing on the FTSE. So all sideways. What's Bitcoin done? I'm just curious in Bitcoin. I don't trade it at all, as you know, but always interested in what it's up to. Nothing. Still short, obviously, Bitcoin. Short with the other indices. It's more of a big accumulation at the moment, isn't it? So we've got those lows put in. We're just not really interested in moving out of that zone, are we, at the minute? So contracting though, ready for a pop on FOMC maybe? Who knows? Right. So I'm going to keep it on the DAX. We've got 3 minutes to the open. Anybody got anything else they want to have a look at the minute? I've only got a 0.25% position on this at the moment. Take another one. Take another one down there. Reduce my stop. So looking for the gap fill basically. Off the open, so we'll see what happens. Okay. Of course, weird being on at 1 o'clock. I'm not used to this. It's quite nice actually. Hopefully might be finished by 2:30. 2 o'clock. Would be good. Just keep an eye on oil while I'm talking as well. And see if we get a push on oil at the open as well. So just sitting in this propulsion gap here. After we got the reversal alert, we went into a little accumulation, pushed up. So looking for some buyers to come through here. Quite a few sellers coming in at the minute, but nice flag forming. Good area to buy. Also a nice support. It's a previous resistance we tried to crack through. Finally got through it. So we should be seeing this act as support now, hopefully. Assuming we are going to have market structure upside, but we'll see. 25 seconds to go. So, looking for a continuation, basically, this afternoon off of the move we had on Friday. So, targeting these lows still. Still haven't got down to these lows. So, hopefully this isn't the bottom, and we're starting to rally, but we'll see. Blimey. Big push at the open. Typical. Just tapped in and took one of my positions out and left the other one in place. Look. Okay, going with short one more. Fairly decent movement at the open. We'll see where this candle finishes. Why is my New York open 5:30? That's the wrong time, isn't it? Why do we still change the clocks these days? Are we not advanced enough to actually just get a little bit more dark or a little bit more light, depending on where we are in the world? Do we really have to keep changing the clocks twice a year? It just plays havoc with the financial markets. Sell stop under the low. If this is going to be a rejection and we're going to drop out the gates, I'm just going to get gathered into a third as we go. Oil. What are we doing with oil? Oil's coming down, so that didn't hold that area. A little bit more downside on oil potentially. Looking for a reaction somewhere in here, ideally. That'll give us a nice, decent reversal. S&P's coming down, Nasdaq's coming down. So Dow's the only one that's got a bit of strength at the moment. The other indices are dropping fairly well. Third position just entered short. S&P new low of the day. NAS is rejecting the lows. DAX is also coming down as well. So all coming down nicely, apart from the Nasdaq, which is kind of just rejected off those lows for the minute. The rest of them are all still pushing. 10 seconds to the end of this 5-minute candle. See if we can make a new low on the Dow. That's a big old opening range to play with today as well. Don't make it easy, do they? It's a farmers thing, is it? Change in the UK? Yeah, I suppose it is in the US, yeah. Does help the farmers, doesn't it? Blessed be the farmers. Sorry, it's Monty Python. Blessed be the cheesemakers. Okay, looking out for these lows to see what type of reaction we get on the lower of the day. If we can break the low of the day, we should be coming down for the gap. CAD-GN in the money. Need UJ to do the same. What's UJ up to? Yeah, nice 3-bar reversal going in on M5 potentially there. Just push up and back down again. Right, we've rejected those lows potentially. Jesus. 2.5 minutes on the candle. Am I going for half an ADR on US dollar yen? No. I'm targeting the retracement, 38. So US dollar yen, we literally since the whole of last week, we had not one profit take move on that. It's due a proper pullback. One of those three levels. So I'm just going conservative. I'm just targeting a 38 retracement, but that's 10 to 1. I'm looking for a big move back today. Or not necessarily today, some point soon. Okay, breaking the lows. So I just need to concentrate on this trade a minute. I'm just going to move my TPs down. This is coming down pretty ferociously this afternoon. Okay, I'm closing out most profitable trade, going to break even on the others. Okay, almost at the gap fill. Closing one more out. These are only 0.25% positions, so I'll just move to break even on that last one. I'm going to let that last one run. That's a nice little trade at the open. Big old candle that. Jeez, come on oil, what is wrong with oil? Potentially we're coming back down to retest this, which would be annoying because that's going to stop me out on both of those, unfortunately. Let's see if we get the retest. Not sure we will get there today, but ahead of FOMC looking to sell S&P 42.65. We won't get to 42.65 on the S&P today, I don't think. Never know. We're not. We're just stopping at the lows at the minute. There's just a lot of buyers coming in down here. Could well bounce back. We're rejecting the lows at the moment on the Dow as well. I hate oil. I hate oil. I hate gold. I've said it before. Anybody that's been in this live room for any period of time with me, or it's flicked in and out of the live room over the last 2 years, every time I trade oil or gold, I get burnt. Every time. And yeah, I keep saying, don't I? Every time. I'm never going to trade it again. I'm never going to trade it again. Every time I try and trade it, bang, burn. Every time. It's lost me 3.5% in the last 2 days, this thing. I'm not trading it anymore. I think it's going to $300 a barrel, but it's just not going to go with me because I can't time the thing. Just cannot get it right, oil. Same with gold. Every time I trade it, without fail, I'll lose 10 to 15% of my account a year. It's just one of those things I can't trade for some reason. Oil and gold, they just don't like me. I was really tempted to take an oil long this morning as well. Gold long this morning. I was glad I didn't because gold's got a gap to fill. Now is actually probably the time to do it. But look at those tweezers. It's long, isn't it? It's long all over it. But yeah, oil just doesn't like me. Now I've said that, it's going to fly up and fill the gap within 3 candles. You watch. To prove me wrong. It's psychological. I'm playing mind games with it, you see. It knows. Last week I heard no more oil. Yeah, David, I said it again. It's one of those things. If you were to get your P&L over a year and analyse your P&L, and this is something that was taught to me a long time ago, and why you need to keep a journal. Journaling your trades is important for two perspectives. One, to make sure you're following your entry rules. 2, to identify your weaknesses. Yeah, because if you can get rid of your weaknesses, your profits will grow. Eliminate what doesn't make you money, you will make more money. Rule number 1. I identified gold was making me losses over and over and over again. Month after month, I was losing money on gold. I got rid of gold and all of a sudden, bang, became more profitable. Every now and again, I see the setup of the century on gold and I go, oh, one more go. Every time it burns me. And I go, never again. It's the same with gold, with oil. It's just one of those things. It gets you. There's something about certain instruments that I think for some reason you just don't click with. It's probably just the instruments, you know. There's certain instruments move in certain ways. I'm not familiar with it. I don't watch it. If I don't watch it, I don't know its patterns. Therefore, I can't trade it. I know where it's going. It's coming down here. It's going to bounce off of 102.50 a barrel. Soundbite that. We'll have a look at it tomorrow. 102.50 a barrel. You heard it here first. Stopped out, break even on 3rd position on the Dow. So gap fill's done. Therefore, you should be going up there, shouldn't you? Nasdaq, S&P, all rejecting the lows. So, long or short from here? I still fancy this short. I'm just wondering if this is just a fake out move. And we're going to come screaming back down from there, but that's a big rejection off of that low. The fact that all the indices have done the same thing. They've all rejected the lows today. Little bit worrying. DAX has done the same thing. Might just give this a couple of candles, just see see where this thinks it's going today. Big bullish engulf in there. Mind you, this is probably a good selling spot here. So just tested that wick, which is held up. Horrible trading the FTSE today. So the FTSE's contracting into a symmetrical triangle. We're building up for a move. Okay, putting a sell stop underneath the low of this current candle. We've got 2 minutes left on this candle, but I think potentially this could be just start the next leg down. So if we get a good push down back through the opening range low, I think we could be good for a second leg down here. See what happens if we get gathered up into that one. Venu Gopal. It's a good name. Face the same with oil. Yeah. Just if you get stuff that you don't make money out of, stop trading it. Everybody that tries synthetic indices at some point will find the same thing, because synthetic indices are manufactured by your broker. Things like the volatility 75 index that everybody's going crazy about at deriv.com. I say deriv.com because synthetic indices are manufactured and manipulated by your broker. Who do you think is going to win in that battle? Ain't going to be you. They'll let you win a few. They'll hook you in. That's why they give you a deposit bonus. Any broker you sign up with that gives you a 100% deposit bonus, run a mile. That's what gambling establishments do. Come and join us. Deposit $1,000. We'll give you $1,000 because we know damn well we're going to take your $1,000. Don't do it, people. CAD-yen can't seem to get past the gap. It's getting there now. Lovely M pattern. As soon as we get that low, we're off. What's US dollar yen doing as well? Not gone anywhere on that yet. Still retesting. Oil's taken me out. I'm not talking to oil. We've officially fallen out. Gold's just taken out the low of the day as well. Got gathered up into that short there. Didn't synthetics cause a lot of the 2008 crash? I don't know. To be honest, 2008 crash was caused by the housing market, wasn't it? Wasn't that the housing bubble popping? I forget which crashes are which. They're all caused by the banks, regardless. But synthetic but I liken volatility 75, volatility 100, volatility 225, whatever all these volatility indexes are that they come up with at Deriv. I liken them all to binary options. Look how long binary options lasted. They made their quadrillions and then everybody realised it was basically just all rigged and everybody stopped. And I think you'll find the same thing will happen with Deriv. They'll be gone fairly soon. Basically, anything you can trade at the weekend when the markets are closed, you know is not being manipulated by the markets. It's being manipulated by a broker. And if a broker is manipulating it, if you've been in my Telegram group at the weekend, you will have seen those videos that I posted about broker software and what they actually see. You know you shouldn't be trading those things. They dangle a carrot. They give you a little bit of money. They make you up your contract sizes, and then they take your contracts away. Decent rejection going on at the minute. Still got a minute or so left on this candle. The FTSE, the reason I'm watching the FTSE, the DAX and the Dow will quite often move in tandem. We're getting some decent rollover and market structure on the FTSE. So looking for a new low. We are sitting at the moment though in potentially this area. Really, really, really choppy at the moment, but I'm hoping we're going to break to the downside, which will drag all the indices down. DAX is rolling over nicely as well. So we got high, low, lower high starting to form. We've got this target on the DAX to the downside as well. No, you can never time anything. The dollar's going to have a pop. It's all going to pop. Everything's going to pop at some point soon. It's how it pops. But the thing with the banking system is they will all be manipulated in a way that will either A, make the banks a fortune, or B, get the banks bailed out. Whenever anything happens in the financial markets, they have to bank it. They have to sort the banks out, because if they don't sort the banks out, we've got no economy. If we've got no economy, we're stuffed. So it all gets sorted out. What causes the crash? Who causes the crash? It's kind of irrelevant most of the time. It's just you can't tell when it's happening. You just have to look for the signs. And at the moment, the indices are in a bear market, which I would say is a pretty decent size. That sign that the dollar at some point will start to weaken. Didn't quite get the pullback I wanted on that. I wanted that a bit more bearish. So just going to keep an eye on this one. Yeah, the 2008 crash was caused by the housing bubble, the 100% mortgages, basically. I had one. I had a 100% mortgage. At the time I got my 100% mortgage, I'd just left college. I had a job where I was earning about £12,000 or £13,000 a year. I got a £250,000 loan on my house. And I was looking at the bank like, what are you doing? At the time, I didn't realise it at the time quite what. I was part of the problem. Everybody was part of the problem. They gave me a 100% mortgage on a property when I wasn't earning enough to pay for it. That's going to go down well, isn't it? So I'm looking for a 50-20 area support here. To continue this downward move. Franco shutting down. Got your 1.8% on the US dollar. Done for the day. Good luck. Well done. See, oil looks good. Can't see it on that one. $102.50. You heard it here first. I'm so tempted. Do you know what? I'm going to do it. Because if I'm right, the risk on this is like $150. It's my last trade on gold ever until next week. US dollar yen, we've got good wicks forming at the minute. Oil is good to trade on demo. It's fun. I feel I'm in the casino. Yeah. Same with gold. It's good fun trading gold because you can make some really good money really fast, but messes with your psyche in real life when you try and trade things that move like that. Just better be stopped out. All right, that'll do. Stopped out on the Dow. Okay, short one more. This, I'm still looking for this to be a pullback for a short leg. I might have this totally wrong today, but after that big, strong dump, I'm expecting a bit of downward movement, but not looking particularly cooperative at the minute. So it's $1,300 reward off of $140 risk on that oil. I'm not going to look at it again. I got this wrong, I think. I'm closing out that Dow. I can't get this right today. We're just chopping today. Afternoon, Neo. Okay, so we're trying to break the opening range highs now Just an absolute chop fest here at the open. Afternoon, Rahat. It's total chop at the minute across everything. See if we've got anything else moving. Aussie's not moving. There's nothing moving. Total chocolate. Pound looks like it wants to move, but still nothing much moving. New Zealand side, look at that for accumulation. We were looking at that one this morning, weren't we? So this New Zealand CAD we were looking at for a potential long. All these New Zealands. Potentially that second leg move down there. Right. Last go, Dow. You better make that your last pullback. So just rejected the highs now. So market structure now is either going to go to the downside or we're going to just pull back and continue back up into there. If we push up another leg up into there, I think I might call it an afternoon because this thing's chopping me to pieces this afternoon. Had a pretty good morning as well. So the only trade I've got taken at the moment on the EA is the CAD yen on H4. So I just got that one position on the CAD yen. So I've got H1M15, H1M5, H4M15 mean reversion running. That's all at the minute. So just that one position got into this morning. Nothing else yet. Nothing else is really rolling over enough yet. Oh, oil. Right, that's it. I'm officially not talking to oil ever again. Sorry, I'm just trying to find something on my... God, I've got too many links. There's a daily gap being filled on oil. I haven't got a gap on oil on the daily. Uh, 2 weeks ago. Oh, there. Could be heading down there, yeah. With the way this market is at the moment, I wouldn't expect it to act particularly logically like that, but yeah, potentially before it moves back up again. Or this is all an absolute waste of time. Oil prices are not going to drop, or we're just going to come back straight back into an accumulation, and they're just going to undo the entire move and then do nothing. Who knows at the minute? Dow's still sitting within the range of that initial candle, but we are potentially looking like we're breaking new highs and coming back up into this gap. If I get stopped out on this one, I think I'm just going to call it a day, because I don't want to give any more back. That'll be a 1.25% loss on the session. 1.5% loss on the session, rather. And there it goes. Venezuelan oil is getting into the market. Blimey. Yeah, there's a lot of the smaller oil producers are going to benefit a lot from this this conflict with Russia pulling its oil and gas out of Europe, and fair play. It's an open market; anyone can join, but quite what percentage of demand they'll be able to fulfill, anybody that joins, it's difficult to tell. Okay, so S&P, the Dow, they're all coming up into potential sell areas at the minute. Nas has smashed it. FTSE's also putting in new highs of the session as well. Well, looks like I got the bias wrong on this one today. So I'm looking for downward movement off the back of that Friday move. So I'm looking for a continuation short. So potentially, if that is going to be the case, we've got loads of upside today. Potentially, but I don't know. Looks short to me overall, but market looks like it wants to go long at the moment. This area here obviously is potentially where we're going to see some sellers starting to step in out of the back of this accumulation. So we'll see if we get some rejection out of there. Looks like it's pretty strong at the minute though. Okay, S&P sitting in the area. We should see some sellers starting to run in as well. So see if we get some pullbacks here. Okay, do some rejection potentially on the Dow here. I'm just watching what's happening across the indices here. We seem to be hitting some resistance across all indices up here. A little bit. Well, the move's slowed anyway. Still got 1 minute left on this candle. Whoa. Big push out the highs. Okay, I'm going to try one more shot underneath the lows of this candle. So I'm looking basically for 3-bar reversal to form here. We've had a decent push up. We've had a pause candle in the middle. So looking for this to close bearish. Potentially to start a pullback. Obviously if it doesn't break that low, then I won't get gathered up. Wow. We got down to just over $100 a barrel on oil. Still not talking to it. Nice liquidity run on gold. US dollars seems to be coming down. Good move starting on the US dollar. New session lows gone in now, so hopefully this will start to be the rollover. See what the other yens are up to. See dollar yen's had a little bit of a push down. CAD yen, a little bit of a push. It's not very strong though. This doesn't seem to be particularly strong yen at the minute, but Apple has just hit 3-month lows. Poor old Apple. iPhone manufacturing apparently was stopped or something, somebody was saying this morning. So that's not going to help, is it? I think I've got stocks in here, haven't I? Maybe not. No. Okay, breaking out those highs, cancelling those pending orders off. Can't really read this market at the moment. It's obviously long at the moment, so I'm just not sure where it's going if we're going long. So obviously we've got highs coming up here and obviously previous highs. So potentially we could be heading up to either of those levels at the moment. But obviously, as you can see, we're kind of in a bit of a chop at the moment. Not really any directional bias on this. So long term, obviously down. But at the moment, it doesn't seem to want to drop. So what I'm probably going to do is let this push up for the afternoon. Hi Trevor, late again. Give me your report card. You get a stamp. If you get 3 stamps, you get detention. So yeah, so I'm going to let that push up with a view to, I think first of all, obviously, yesterday's high. And see how high we can get up into the 24 and then look for some rejection later on to come back down. We've got that obviously on the DAX. And move down from there on the Dow. So doesn't seem to me like we should be pushing up here, but it is. S&P fair value gap between 42.65 and 42.85 on the hourly. Yeah, don't know. Could be. No idea. I'll let it push. 50% retracement basically on the S&P. But I wasn't expecting the indices to be quite so bullish today. Especially with what the US dollar seems to be doing, which is kind of accumulating. I would expect them to kind of do something similar, but no movement much on the US dollar. So it's starting to come down a little bit now. So I got that US dollar yen running. So I'm going to let that run. Target on that is 38 retracement, which is down in this accumulation here. So we'll see if we can get that one played out this afternoon. Well, I say this afternoon. Unlike that's going to be this afternoon. That's a multi-day hold, that trade. But yeah, absolutely shot the US dollar yen. All the yen pairs are absolutely exhausted, so should be seeing some decent drops on all of these. But yeah, I think waiting for short opportunity on the indices. So I'd like to see market structure shifting. So get something starting to move and then look for an opportunity a bit later on in the afternoon. They all gapped up on the open yesterday. They didn't open yesterday. You mean today they all gapped up? Yeah. Yeah, the S&P's already done its S&P did its gap fill early on. The reason I was looking for a drop is because the DAX hasn't gap filled yet. So I was expecting this session on the DAX to be the gap fill session. But I mean, if you look at it from the hourly chart, potentially this could be the start of the move down. But don't know. It's not showing any signs of bearishness at the moment for me. The Dow. So I'd like to see the US indices showing a little bit of bearish price action as well, along with the DAX, and we're not getting any. So I'm looking for shorts today, really. The FTSE's still got gap fill to do as well. Both, in fact, I shouldn't really be trading the Dow. Should be looking for short opportunities on the FTSE as well. So potentially this is a good stalling area here as well. Dow's just starting to potentially roll over. Okay, we've got bearish engulfing on the DAX. Going short one on the DAX. So got perfect double top just formed there. Let's see if this is. If you look at the open on the DAX, we've got a higher low. So if this is going to be putting in a lower high, we're contracting into potentially a decent sized move at some point. Big drop, but want to see if we break down below the moving averages, and then a little bit of a pullback to add into a second position if this works. But they got to fill at some point. Don't necessarily need to do it today though. FTSE starting to show some signs of rolling over as well. We've got 3-bar reversal forming on the 5-minute. US dollar yen in profit on that one now. Early days yet, so it's really nice reversal alert there with a retest. That's your retest entry. So looking for that low to get broken at 117,840-ish. And then I might add one into that on a break of that low. Okay, so potential 3-bar reversal formed on the FTSE as well. Didn't quite manage to break those lows. So see where we go from this candle here. If we get a breakdown here, potentially we might be off on the start of a bear move. Let's see what happens. EU's just said it's going to impose more sanctions on Rosneft, Transneft and Gazprom. So all the Russian oil and gas, basically, still more more sanctions, basically, to obviously try and strangle the finances, but I don't think that's going to do anything. Okay, decent move on the Nasdaq. Oops, wrong one. So potentially got a decent pullback. It's rather there. Above a 61 hit retracement on that initial move. That initial yen strength we saw coming in is kind of waning a little bit. Still not a massive movement anywhere really. There's nothing really taking off in New York at all. So on this DAX trade short, so plan basically is if this is high of the day we found, looking for this to basically be the pullback to go short. If it is, I'm going to add when we break these lows, which will obviously bring the average down to somewhere around 139.25. And then look to ride it down basically for the gap fill, assuming we get this done today. If we don't get this done today, we could potentially meet some support down here and some buying pressure down here. So that's kind of what I'm playing for, just to break down below the lows of the London-Frankfurt session and just get some downside momentum started. Which seems to have started rolling over, but obviously we're still above the moving averages here at the minute. So there is every potential that this could break further to the upside, obviously, today and just keep going. So if that is going to happen, I'm not going to try and force it anymore. We're on a bit of a go slow at the moment. So just waiting for some price action basically, but we're not getting a lot of movement. So that's my plan this afternoon, is just to watch that and go short on the US dollar yen short that I've got on. Want that high that was supportive to get invalidated. So if we break that low there, I'm going to gather in a second position on that one, and then look for the start of this move to the downside, which is, when it happens, it's not necessarily going to happen from here, but we are at 100 ADR today. We've already hit ADR. So, it was extended when we opened this morning. We've gone dramatically higher. So it's definitely due a pullback. How far we're going to get, it's very difficult to tell. So I will let this one ride down, and just watch what happens when we get back down to these sorts of levels, and I may take one off and let one run, assuming that obviously happens. But at the moment, nothing's happening, is it? It's dead. We've gone into the doldrums. It's like we're in New York lunch. I think obviously London's finished lunch, so I think maybe they're all a bit confused as to what the hour is. They've decided they're not going to execute their orders because they think New York's not open yet. I don't know. Obviously they would be, because New York has been open for an hour and a quarter. We haven't gone anywhere apart from a little push up. So we'll see. So that's my plays for this afternoon. The EA is now running, obviously, set up as before the war broke out. I've just got into an Aussie dollar CAD long as well. So nothing on the hourlies. So got nothing happening on the hourlies. 4 hourlies, got 2 positions running now. So yeah, just starting some new position trading positions. So Aussie dollar CAD, nicely extended. First opportunity for a long on that one. Yeah, that's all I'm doing. There's no point in sitting here watching this go ridiculously slow. So we might as well just go and do something else while we're waiting for the market to move. I'll update you in Telegram what happens with trades. But I'm not sure we're going to get this play out today. This is going to need a hell of a move for this US dollar yen to go down. I'm not sure we're going to get that much yen strength coming through today. But this is a multi-day hold, potentially, back down to here. I say multi-day. Really, I don't want to hold it past tomorrow because FOMC is obviously going to affect the US dollar. And obviously tomorrow afternoon as well, we've got the we've got the PPI figures coming out tomorrow afternoon at 12:30, an hour ahead of the open. So I would look to probably be out of that US dollar yen, assuming it works out, sometime tomorrow morning. But we'll see if it starts to play out from here. It's looking like it's potentially shorting nicely at the minute. We just put a new low in. We just need to get some confirmation movement, really. Same with this thing. It's done a little bit of a pullback. We need another leg down, so we'll wait and see. So I'll update this in the Telegram group, what happens on these. If anything, we might go sideways for the entire session. You never know. Maybe New York's gone to lunch. I don't know. We just seem to be dead, don't we? Very, very strange. So keep an eye on the 4-hour extensions. So US dollar yen, obviously, I'm already in. There's good opportunities here. Aussie dollar CAD, I've just got into first long position on that one. CAD yen is also very, very, very extended. I'm in short on that, CAD yen. And obviously we've got the Swiss yen as well, which is very, very, very extended, although that one did come off the highs today. So we had a decent reversal. There's no reversal alert on it because of that massive half an hour push, solid push that it had. But yeah, good opportunity for shorts on those. New Zealand dollar yen as well. That one's nicely extended, although we did get a bit more of a pullback on that one halfway through the move, but still nothing massive. So very nicely embedded and extended there. So good opportunities for shorts on that as well for mean reversion. So keep your eyes on those. And obviously the hourlies are all set up very, very similarly as well. So some opportunities brewing out there. But I'm looking really for the 80-20s on the hourlies. So unless we're getting extended up into here, I'm not getting into any automatically with the EA at the moment. I want to make sure we got some really good, strong movement before I start jumping into stuff at the minute. Okay, so I'm going to call it a day there, I think, for the session, because it's a little bit paint dry this afternoon so far, isn't it? So we're not got any dramatic movement, and I don't really want to force any more positions. If this one does push up and stop me out, I'm going to wait, because I think obviously if we do break highs today, and we push out above the highs of Friday, it's a bit tricky to see where we're going to go. I think we're still going to come down and want to do this gap fill. So I'll be monitoring around about the high of the day. I think really that's all I want to look for, high of day today, and then look for shorts up there if we get there. All right. So yeah, nothing much has changed from this morning. If you were here this morning from analysis for position trading positions off the RSI, there's not a lot really that's changed since this morning. We're pretty much where we were. So for the session, I think I'm down about 1% and a bit on the session. Got 3/4 at the open, lost 3. So yeah, but not that much actually. About 3/4% down. So I only need one trade, this one to work out this afternoon, and it'll all be back. But it's not moving. Look at that. Wiki. Horrible. Okay, guys, I'll be back tomorrow morning at 7:50, ready for the Frankfurt Open. We'll do the same thing tomorrow. Obviously, have a look at the market. We've got news tomorrow. If you've got any Australian dollar positions on, just be aware. We've got monetary policy tomorrow morning at 12:30 a.m. UK time. Actually, that's wrong. Yeah, it's not 2:45. Actually, it's 2:45. Yeah, sorry. Yes, we've got Aussie dollar monetary policy meeting minutes and then PPI tomorrow. That's the only news we've got. We can ignore the zoo economic sentiment. So this is all pre-market stuff tomorrow. Pre-market Frankfurt, pre-market New York. So be aware of those beforehand. If you need anything, I'm in the Telegram group. There'll be a link coming up to that in a minute. If you want to come into the Telegram group, if you've got any questions on anything. And I'll update what's going on with these trades. So that's all really for today. Have a good afternoon, and hopefully it's a profitable one. And I will see you guys in the morning.